Don't you ever give up on you, because if you get a Quinta Brunson in your corner, if you get a husband like mine in your corner, if you get children like mine in your corner, and if you've got friends like everybody who voted for me, cheered for me, love me, thank you, thank you.
Yes, passion, inspiration, motivation, baby. It is the moment from Sheryl Lee Ralph that gave us chills, and I still have goosebumps just watching the speech all over again. Last night, the 74th annual Primetime Emmys was filled with some truly heartwarming moments and feel-good surprises, and we're going to celebrate them all right now on Post Pop. I just want to say, hey everyone, I am Francesca Amiker, and I'm going to be joined by the chief correspondent of Variety and co-host of Variety's The Take, Elizabeth Wagmeister, a little bit later on in the show. But guess what? First, I'm going to tell you the biggest moments from the Emmys that I took away. Can we first say shout out to Atlanta's very own Kenan Thompson? He did a phenomenal job bringing down the house, or I guess uplifting the house, with all his dance moves. He was dancing alongside contortionists and trained dancers, opening the Emmys last night to multiple theme song shows, including NCIS's favorite theme song, the Brady Bunch's theme song, even The Simpsons, and of course we can't forget Game of Thrones as well. It was so good, but there were so many winning women last night as well. Amazing moments. In fact, I think we need to give a big old shout out to a few key speeches, if you will. You know, Abbott Elementary's Sheryl Lee Ralph. She's the first Black actress to win the Emmy for Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series in 35 years. But her speech is something that we'll be talking about forever.
Don't you ever give up on you, because if you get a Quinta Brunson in your corner, if you get a husband like mine in your corner, if you get children like mine in your corner, and if you've got friends like everybody who voted for me, cheered for me, love me, thank you, thank you.
Yes, y'all, I had producers re-rack this video because this is iconic. I put this on my Instagram last night as soon as it aired. This speech will go down in Emmys history for several reasons. Not only did she make history by becoming the second Black woman to receive this honor after Jackée Harry, who received it in 1987 for her show. It was an NBC sitcom, 227, and she played Sandra. Remember that? But guess what? She also, this is her freshman show. This is a show that she just had to believe in Quinta Brunson on, and together they believed in it, and so she did. This was her first Emmy nomination, and now she is an Emmy Award winner. I also have to mention that Sheryl, I had a chance to interview her a couple of weeks ago at the HCAs, and she says that she has been practicing this Emmy speech for years. She says that when she was 5 years old, she used to watch Tinkerbell on the black and white TV, and she said, that's where I want to be. I want to be doing that. I want to be doing movies and shows and go to Hollywood one day. But it's all about going back to her original message, believing in yourself, having people in your corner to support you, and working with those around you. I am just so proud of her. And of course, Jackée Harry, the woman who made history before her, she gave her a beautiful nod as well. And my last note on Abbott Elementary School, this isn't just about Hollywood, guys. She is married to Senator Hughes in Philadelphia. And Senator Hughes, his focus is education. Well, guess what? Because of this show, over $1 billion in funds have been generated because of this show to help towards those receiving a public education in Philadelphia. And if you can't connect real life in Hollywood, that is the perfect way to do it. And you know, Sheryl, she's not the only star who left us feeling very inspired last night. It's about damn time. You know who I'm talking about, Lizzo. She won the Emmy for Outstanding Competition Program for Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls. And you got to say it like her. Watch Out for the Big Girls, an Amazon series that documented her search for backup dancers. And it's about damn time we celebrate her being halfway to an EGOT.
When I was a little girl, all I wanted to see was me in the media. Someone fat like me, Black like me, beautiful like me. If I could go back and tell little Lizzo something, I'd be like, You gonna see that person, but bitch, it's gonna have to be you.
And the crazy thing here, you know, RuPaul's Drag Race had won Outstanding Competition Program category for the year. Well, 4 years in a row. I want to know, you know, what the people were saying. So I went to Twitter, right? So many people were thrilled that she broke this winning streak. Keep in mind, she didn't just win over RuPaul's Drag Race. She won over The Voice, Top Chef, which is some folks' favorite show. Also, what was the other one? And I shouldn't shade him like that, but Amazon Race as well. So many people were just rooting for her. And keep in mind that Lizzo, she's my girl in my head. You know her real name's Melissa, right? She got that name Lizzo from when she was in a band when she was 14 years old. They started calling her Lizzo, so that's what she became. But this is a little girl who never felt seen. In fact, she went through a lot of heartache. She has a hell of a testimony if you just look at her records. But she began playing the flute in her early days, and then she began also kind of getting involved with the music scene when she was in marching band as well. And then the thing about Lizzo is that she's not limited to anything. She loves rap, so she used to rap at night, and then she'd go to school, you know, in the daytime, and then in the morning she'd go to her flute lessons. Lizzo is that girl. She has been paving the way for so long, and we are just so proud of her. And while some speeches had us, you know, reaching for tissues, others had us dancing in our seats. Man, y'all gotta hear this one. When Jennifer Coolidge won for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Limited Series, she had the perfect move for when the music tried to play her off. Take a look.
I just want to say, you know, I took a lavender bath tonight, and right before the show, and it made me swell up inside my dress, and I'm having a hard time speaking. Wait, hold on. No, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and I'm full. Wait, hold on. Okay.
My gosh, did you see her? Oh, you guess who I have? Elizabeth from Variety. I wanted to bring you in on this story because I know that you have a history with Jennifer Coolidge. You guys interviewed, right?
Yes, so we had Jennifer Coolidge on our cover. My colleague Dan Daddario, one of our TV critics, wrote the cover, but I was on set to do our behind-the-scenes video. Now, by this point, everyone has seen it. She's hysterical, everything she says.
I want to get your take on the speech.
Yes.
Because it's funny because I feel like the speech, she wasn't even saying so much. You know, she created quite a stir on social media because she felt, it almost appeared as if she was like rambling, and then all of a sudden the music hits and she's like, wait.
Yes.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
No one can do it like her. So I actually tweeted this. I said, shame on the Emmys. Do not cut off Jennifer Coolidge. I mean, I could have seen her just dance up there all night, but it really shows what a talent she is that she's cut off in her speech. It's like kind of a moment, that a rite of passage, right? That you're being played off by the music, and then she gets up there and dances and saves the moment and became one of the most viral moments of the night. And I just think there is such warmness for Jennifer Coolidge, right, in Hollywood among audiences, because it felt like this moment for her has been decades coming, and people are just so happy for her, and she deserves this. I was thrilled to see her win.
Yes, she's so versatile in her roles, and you know, every time I see her, I want to say, yeah, because that's what she gives us, right?
Yes, even during her speech, she gave us some, and when I interviewed her for Variety's cover, that is her. She is hysterical in person, whether the camera's on or off, and she is so kind. There's just nobody that is kind and funny like her. It's just Jennifer Coolidge is in a league of her own.
Now, she was also in a league of a lot of stiff competition. Did you see her winning last night?
Yeah, I did. So I predicted this, but as you said, stiff competition. She was up against all of her co-stars in that category. And White Lotus, of course, was the big winner of the night. They walked away with 10 awards, but just in that category, there were 5 actresses from the same show that were nominated. And it's really an embarrassment of riches, right? In any of these categories, anyone could have won, and it would have been well-deserved. And it's this problem, this high-class problem of too much good TV.
And that's why I think, you know, when Oprah Winfrey came on the scene yesterday, when I say she came on the scene, when she helped shut down the house and open the show yesterday, she said there's 8 billion people in the world, and we're only handing out 25 Emmys tonight. So the fact that there was so much stiff competition and amazing shows, Succession, White Lotus, Ted Lasso, if you won last night, I mean, that that says a lot about you and your talent and what your colleagues see in you.
Absolutely. And I am so glad you brought up Oprah because, first of all,
Mama.
I mean, you bring out Oprah and that sets the stage. But, you know, we're in this time where audiences have a lot of places to go, and it's no secret less people are watching award shows. And I thought by bringing out Oprah atop a show to really set the scene, to say this is a big deal, this is a big moment to get an Emmy. I really loved how she solidified the importance of what it means for these performers to win that award, but also for audiences. TV is a part of all of our lives, and it started with Keenan's song and dance with all these TV show tunes. It makes you feel nostalgic. You remember where you were when you watched The Brady Bunch or Friends, and it really shows that in this day and age where you can be on TikTok or wherever you want to be, you know, we're streaming right now, TV is really important, and it's a very important medium.
And the speeches last night, they created so much stir. In fact, I want to know, from the speeches last night, was there one that you really took to or that shocked you the most?
You know, I'm probably of the majority saying this, but Cheryl Lee Ralph, I mean, that speech is one for the age. I really mean this. I think that will be taught in classes. That will be history books, people watching this and really learning from it. And I think, you know, everyone can relate to what she said, even if you're not in showbiz and you're not an actor, which most aren't, that an overnight success takes years to happen. You have to keep believing in yourself, supporting yourself with a great circle. And I mean, just get the original dream girl, right? Getting up on stage and belting it out. I loved it.
Okay, so I want to get to one of the speeches that everyone is talking about, and not just speeches, but one of the moments. All right, you know what I'm talking about. When Quinta Brunson won her first Emmy for Outstanding Writing in a Comedy Series for Abbott Elementary's pilot, she accepted the award over Jimmy Kimmel's Dead Body after a bit he did with Will Arnett. In fact, now some fans are saying that the joke went a little too far and that he took away from Quinta's historic win. She is only the third Black writer and the second Black female writer to win the award. So Elizabeth, I'm curious, you know, you have been in this industry for so long. You are the chief correspondent for Variety. You've seen a lot. Do you think that this was funny or a fail?
So I didn't think it was funny. A lot of people are really offended by this, and I can understand that, but I just don't think it was a funny bit, first of all. You know, let's put that out there. But what I really took away from this is what a superstar and what a role model Quinta Brunson is, making history already with her 3 nominations, then winning. She was asked about this backstage in the press room, and she really took it in stride. You know, she said, I'm friends with Jimmy, and he is one of the titans of comedy, and he's one of the first people who watched Abbott Elementary, said that this is a great show. So who knows if that's how she really feels or if she just wanted to put on a good show. But I was really impressed with her response to basically say, let's not create drama with this. This is my moment.
Boom.
And a moment for so many who look up to her, right?
I think she took back exactly what you just said. She said, listen, he's a titan in this industry. You know, he was one of the first people to give me a spot on late night. And she said, tomorrow I'm going to be on his show.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe I'll want to punch him in the face.
We'll see what happens then. But I just loved it. You know, she really paid her respect to Jimmy and also took the moment back, kind of reclaimed that moment for herself and said, let's not make this about something else. I just want an Emmy, okay?
Yes,
So I loved her response.
She looked like an Emmy too, didn't she?
Oh, beautiful. That gown, I was going to say dress, that gown was stunning.
She said she wanted to channel a little Jessica Rabbit. You know, Quinta's only 4'11", y'all. I've interviewed her a couple of times. She's this big, but her presence is this big, and we're just so proud of her. But moving on, the big 3 categories of the night reveal that The White Lotus won for a limited series. Also, Ted Lasso secured a back-to-back win for Outstanding Comedy. No surprise there. And the Roy family reigned supreme with Succession winning for Outstanding Drama. So obviously no huge surprises there, but Squid Game certainly made their mark at the Emmys. Lee Jung-jae won the award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series during Monday's ceremony, making him the first winner in the category to come from a non-English show, as well as the first Asian man to take home the gold. When this moment went down in history, what were your thoughts, Elizabeth?
You know, obviously, it's such a great moment, and as you just said, the statistics are staggering. So we want to celebrate that, and we are, but it also is just a reminder of how much work there is to be done. It is 2022. We should not be saying the first of anything, but as we saw in Lizzo's speech and so many others, that representation is so important, and it really matters. You know, sometimes people say these award shows, it's the glitz and glam and that's it, but they are representing not just their hard work, but what they really represent for so many people at home. And to see him standing up there with that Emmy statue and winning and making history, there are so many people watching at home around the world who are saying, wow, for the first time, I see myself and I can achieve my dreams. So a great moment for him, for Squid Game, but also for so many at home.
And international cinema as well.
Yes.
We hit on this in 2020. Remember when Best Picture goes to Parasite at the Oscars, right? And it opened up this vessel for the consumption of international cinema. And so now with this non-English show airing, I guess it's kind of new for Americans to be, you know, reading subtitles and being okay with it, because in other countries, that's a norm.
Of course.
You know, when you're consuming film and television from Americans. But now I feel like this has now, we're going to be, I mean, just imagine how many awards Squid Game Season 2 could be up for.
Yes, and it made history just with its nominations. The first non-English language series to be nominated in the category of Best Drama. But I'm so glad you brought up Parasite, because really, if you look at film and television, I believe that Parasite and Squid Game are really going to change the game. And to your point, really changing how we look at American content, that it doesn't just have to be English speaking, it doesn't have to be American content, that it is international. When something's on Netflix, that is a global platform. So many of these networks and streaming services are, so why should it just be one thing? So I really think that we are in this moment in history that's going to continue to progress. And also, we know it's one of the most watched shows on Netflix, and it's great to see the shows that people are watching are actually getting awarded, because I know, this is no secret, sometimes with the Oscars, people are like, what was that film? What one? I've never even heard of that.
Of course.
And you had big shows, but also huge star power last night.
Yeah, huge star power. And you know what? A lot of people are asking, like, okay, Squid Game, what can we find out about Season 2? Well, guess what? I believe I was watching some interviews behind the stage, because I love Squid Game. Girl, I love Squid Games. It was phenomenal. Season 2, the creator said that it's going to be different, of course. He said it's going to be longer, and he said it's going to be darker than ever before. How do you make Squid Games darker?
How do you get even darker? And you know what I love about the Emmys? I was not there last night, but I have been there so many times. And when you're backstage, it is a chance not just to talk about the awards, but to get the scoop,
right?
So like White Lotus too, like we know that's coming back. Jennifer Coolidge will be back, but none of the other cast. There's a lot. I mean, Ted Lasso, Jason Sudeikis was asked, is it going to end at Season 3? Will it come back for Season 4? He said, I don't know. There's a lot of other factors than just myself. So I love getting the scoop backstage as well.
And this is why you guys love watching us. And of course, we'd be remiss not to mention Rue. That's right, Euphoria's star, Miss Zendaya, has officially made Emmys history again with her second win for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. The 26-year-old becomes the youngest two-time winner for acting in Emmys history and the first Black woman to win the Emmys for a lead actress in a drama series twice. Take a look.
I just want to say, you know, my greatest wish for Euphoria was that it could help heal people. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has shared their story with me. I want you to know that anyone who has loved a Rue or feels like they are a Rue, I want you to know that I'm so grateful for your stories, and I carry them with me, and I carry them with her. So thank you so much.
Now, we were chatting before the show. You are obsessed with Zendaya, Elizabeth.
I mean, who isn't? She really is. She is the star of her time, but she's also so timeless. And to achieve what she has at just 26, you know, she's so young, but she's been in this industry since she was a kid.
Disney.
So at 26, she has been here for over a decade and then some, but I thought her speech was so fantastic. She never misses the mark. You know, of course her talent on screen speaks for itself, but also as a star and as a role model, when she gets up there on stage and says what she says, it means so much. And I think Zendaya was one of the back-to-back winners. You know, she won in 2020. And by the way, I have to say, when she won in 2020, that was when it was on Zoom, like deep pandemic, with all the award shows. So I was so happy she got her moment on stage to actually be there. But and you know, last night we saw a lot of repeat winners, from Zendaya to Jason Sudeikis with Ted Lasso. There were a lot of people. Julia Garner won for the third time for Ozark. A lot of people won again. And I think one of the criticisms that comes with the Emmys and has for a while is people say there's so much TV, and it's not to knock anyone, but give someone else a chance. Why are we voting for the same people? Zendaya is not that person, though. She's someone that gets on stage and everyone is so happy to see her win again. In fact, I think if she didn't win, it would have been considered one of the biggest snubs of the night.
Yes, yes, yes. And I was listening to her speech backstage, and you can tell that there's still this edge to her. There's still this want. There's still this hunger. And when she was backstage, they were saying, you know, what was it about the character Rue that drew you in? She said, though I didn't have the addictions, though I didn't have the issues and the troubles that Rue went through, she wanted to help people on the journey to heal. And she knew that she had the power to do that, though the character was very, it could have been overwhelming for her, but she wanted the challenge. She takes on roles intentionally that scare her so that it can push her to be a better actress, and look, boom.
Yes.
Another Emmy.
Yeah, exactly. She has 2 Emmys now.
Girl.
And she is just such a great role model. And something that I took away from last night is you kind of had the old and the new, right? You're seeing people like Cheryl Lee Ralph and Jennifer Coolidge, Jean Smart really have this second act, and these women in their 60s and 70s who are killing it. And it just shows it's never too late to really conquer your dreams. And then you have people like Quinta Brunson and Zendaya, who are kind of the new guard and really emblematic of their generation. I think it just shows that not only is it never too late for success, that things happen when they're supposed to.
Boom.
Right?
I'm so glad you said it. You ended that sentence with, because that's exactly what Cheryl Lee Ralph said.
Yes.
I'm not mad I didn't get the Emmy yet. She said it happened when it was supposed to happen.
Right.
And Amanda Seyfried, I'm going to throw your name in there too, because girl, that was her first time getting an Emmy.
Yes.
A lot of newness and oldness. I love that theme, Elizabeth. Now, you know, a few fans out there, and of course, I mean myself, you know. I was a little worried when Zendaya didn't mention her man, Tom Holland. I said, what is going on? Why isn't his name in the acceptance speech? But don't you worry. I know all you romance fans out there. You know that E! News has the exclusive scoop on their current relationship status. So just take a look at what she dished to us backstage after her win.
When I get this win, I didn't have to text my mom because my mom was already there.
Nice.
She's here tonight, which is very special. And I text my boyfriend.
My spidey senses are activated. So we heard that she did text her boyfriend first. No surprise, right?
No surprise, but you know what I have to say? When I said Zendaya never misses the mark, she knows what it is to be a star, because not only did she text him, which we love, they are such, I just love them as a couple, but also she didn't have to say that, but she did. She knows that her fans want to know. She's going to give them a little something, and I think she's someone, fame is very hard, right? To have your personal life be dissected, but I think she's someone who really has navigated it beautifully as being a star who is really appreciated for their talent in their art, but also she knows she's a celebrity, and she says, I know I'm going to give the people what they want. They want to know about Tom. And yes, we do. And yes, we are happy that you texted him, and we hope that you celebrated.
She is 26 years old, but brilliantly media trained, but also so many of you were saying that she's classy and graceful and a class act. And that can be seen. I mean, she's so regal. And also, she was asked about Beyonce's party. You know, she attended Beyonce's party. Beyonce's birthday was September 4th. And I guess she made them sign NDAs because Zendaya was like, next question, next question. She said it was a good time. You know, I enjoy being out, but I enjoy being home too. Right. And she navigates those type of questions effortlessly.
Effortlessly. And I also think it's just her. You know, none of it is put on. It's not, you know, just saying it to get a soundbite. She says it because she's real. But I love that. She's like, I'll tell you about Tom, but Beyonce, no. She's like, I'm not gonna do that. She's like, I know what I have to keep to myself. Something, you know, it's like if it didn't happen on, or if it's not on Instagram, it didn't happen. She's like, you know it happened, I'm not gonna say it.
And you know what? That's a great point too, because you know, Tom recently got off of Instagram due to mental health issues and just struggling with just the stress and anxiety of it all. So her kind of just speaking breath into him and saying, yeah, he did text me, that allows his fans to know, okay, he's doing okay.
Right, and by the way, I loved that he not only took himself off of social media, but said it. All these young stars, they recognize their immense platform, right? I mean, Zendaya has gazillions of followers, so does Tom Holland, and to really not just go off Instagram, but to say, here's why, because my mental health is important. that is immense. That means a lot for all of their
Huge.
fans who really look up to them. And you know, celebrities really are role models for people. And I really commended him. And I remember when he said that he went off Instagram, it was the same week that Jonah Hill said he wasn't going to promote his new film. And I have to say, even 5 years ago, stars were not talking about this. Mental health was not something that came up openly in conversation. And I think it really is because of this generation.
Excellent
so
point.
I loved that he said that. And I'm glad to know that he's doing well. And to your point, Zendaya let us know that. He doesn't have to tell us. She's got it for you.
She's taking care of the house and home
Exactly.
while she's outside. I love that. Now, normally stars are on the quest for that Emmys gold, right? But this year, it was all about the bronze, baby. Cue it. Take a look. Lily James Dunn in this Versace. Quinta Brunson. Look at them. Oh, my gosh.
I love it.
She slayed in a custom Dolce & Gabbana brown metallic gown. And Christina Ricci looked sultry in Fendi. Can we show that photo one more time? Because this was a theme that myself and our producers noticed throughout the night. Take a look at this, Elizabeth.
Yes.
What does this mean for fashion this year?
You know, first of all, I love how I thought there were so many good looks, but I love that you noticed that trend because it's not the gold, it's a bronze. It's kind of a wink and a nod. That's not too spot on. There, but I mean, I just thought that everyone really brought it on the red carpet. Not just the women, by the way, the men too. I just thought there were so many good looks.
I'm glad you mentioned the men because they completely ditched the dark suits this year and they opted for this bright ensemble. Take a look at who we have here. They look so good. Andrew Garfield looks so good, dashing in this design by Zynga, while Nicholas Braun sported a jewel-adorned dress shirt under his ivory blazer, which came from Dior, of course. And then John Legend, who was right next to Chrissy, oh my gosh, hit all the right notes with his cream Gucci suit, and Seth Rogen even bleached hair to match with his design from Brunello Cucinelli.
Oh,
Now, what'd you think about Cucinelli?
I love it. I love it. I guess white is okay after Labor Day, right? Here's the thing. So I'm born and raised in LA. We never followed that rule that you can't wear white after Labor Day. I'm not a fashion expert, but I have never agreed with this rule. And I think these men, these A-listers showed us, who cares? White works. But I love this trend. And I'm so glad that you brought up Seth Rogen. He was my best dressed for the men on the carpet.
Really?
And I am loving this bleach blonde hair. It's kind of evoking a bit McDreamy.
Okay,
You
well,
saw this weekend, right?
yeah, I
Patrick
did.
Dempsey with his blonde hair.
I was reading, but let me see it again. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what?
It
You know
works
what?
for me.
I like, you know what? That platinum blonde. Seth, is he? He's married, right? All
Yeah,
right, Seth.
I think- uh-oh.
Seth, you look nice.
Gonna
I'm
get in
just
a little
kidding.
bit of trouble. I think he is.
He
but
looks fantastic.
But you can be married and look good, right?
Yeah.
We can appreciate it.
I just want to watch my
yeah,
compliments.
we're not
on-
going to get you in trouble. Don't worry, I got you, girl.
Thank you. I love that platinum blonde that he put on it. I love that. It does look good together.
Yes.
Now, I got to give you guys a warning. You might need sunglasses for this next trend because these ladies were shining bright in sequins. Another trend that we saw, oh my gosh, Reese Witherspoon, take a look. Oh man, she dazzled in this midnight blue
Stunning.
Armani Privé gown. Also in Armani Privé, Amanda Seyfried was positively blushing before she received her first Emmy ever. And Sandra Oh had us saying OMG with this purple sequined jumpsuit by Rodarte. Wow. So sequins was another theme of the night.
I loved it. So I don't know about you. We just met. I feel like I've known you forever, but you seem like a girl who likes to wear sequins.
Do
you?
I?
You do.
What do you get?
So-
What gives that off? Because I don't know if I like a sequin or not. I'm totally just
So
kidding.
I'm a little more muted, say in Flores, but I love sequins.
Yeah.
I love it. And this is their moment. It's the Emmys. So I loved seeing, and it kind of goes with the bronze, right? Like the bronze metallics and then the sequins sparkling. They all took this moment to shine. I loved Sandra Oh. That purple sequin suit. Are you kidding me? It was amazing.
Beautiful.
I loved it.
You know what? And it's funny because I'm like, I mean, obviously all the fashion designers speak, and no one wants to reveal what their client is going to be wearing. But I don't know what the designer fashion houses were thinking, but these sequins this season, stunning.
Stunning.
Beautiful.
Someone else I loved was Mindy Kaling, who I don't know if it was sequins or just embellishment, but she was wearing that yellow gown
with all the appliques and
my
whatnot.
God, beautiful.
She looks fantastic, and then just some honoraries that I liked. You know,
Yes.
obviously Zendaya looks fantastic, but I noticed that the ball gowns, the Cinderella ball gowns, was pretty popular last night.
Yes, the Elle Fanning, and I mean Zendaya though, she literally looked like a statue.
When does she not?
I know. So I don't think. I know with all certainty she has never had a fashion miss. Her and her stylist Law Roach, she is his muse. They always get it right, set the tone. She is not just a trailblazer on screen and a 2-time Emmy winner, but also a fashion trailblazer. But when you were saying some honorees, I just thought of, you know, the men were wearing white, but also Jean Smart in white. She was one of my favorites on the red carpet last night. So I had to look this up. And I am not saying, you know, there's a lot of talk about ageism in Hollywood. I'm saying this because she should be proud. She is 71 years old. I will have whatever she's having. That white gown, that everything.
She looked
about
very
it.
regal. She, you know, I think it was like a, like a tube dress with that shawl on top of it. You guys got to look it up. She looked so regal, so classy, and she exuded that on the carpet as well.
Absolutely.
Now, before we go, we're still talking fashion. You know it would not be an awards show without E's legendary Glam Bot. Have you done the Glam Bot yet?
I've done it once. It was very exciting.
I've never done the Glam Bot.
I did it at the Oscars earlier this year, and it's, by the way, much more tough than it looks.
Is it?
These stars have it down because I looked insane, let me tell you.
No, I'm sure your Glam Bot looks so good. I bet you it would look just as good as Miss Kerry Washington.
No one looks as good as Miss Kerry Washington.
She gave us a high kick in this Ellie Saab couture gown, and she looked so good, just smiling and dancing. What did you think about her look? Because believe it or not, I know it's Kerry Washington, you guys, but you know I'm a straight shooter. Many people are saying, oh, I don't know if I felt the black tights with the white Ellie Saab couture.
So I have to say, if anyone else was wearing it, I don't think I would have liked it. To me, she pulled it off.
I agree.
And I think she could pull off anything. And this is not the first time that she has gone with a risky fashion statement on the carpet. She's done this before. And I feel like she has gotten some criticism for her looks. I always love them. I think that she can rock nearly anything.
Nearly.
Right?
I'm glad you threw that word in there. Nearly. Because when she hit the carpet, I'm like, all right, Kerry.
But it works for me. And also, the more I look at it, I'm like, I really like this.
It did remind me of like this 90s, 1980s grunge look.
Oh, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where she's like, yeah, my day with the president's daughter. My day, just very like rock and roll. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get regal, honey. Elle Fanning looked positively radiant. And that's not just because she plays royalty on screen. Take a look at this right here, Elizabeth.
That is a glam bot. She knows how to work that glam bot.
You know what? Elle's vintage Hollywood-inspired dress. This was actually designed by the Greats series costume designer Sharon Long, who just won the Emmy for Outstanding Period Costumes at the Creative Arts Emmys last week for her work on the show. What did you think about that look?
You know, I thought she looked beautiful, and I think I keep bringing up Zendaya, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I really feel there are these young women who are in their 20s in Hollywood, and they are so well beyond their years. I mean, Elle Fanning, that dress that's a statement dress, and I think a lot of people might not see a young woman in that, but she rocked it, and she's another one who's been in Hollywood her entire life. She knows how to work a red carpet. I loved it. I thought it was really beautiful.
I want people to, if anyone thinks that, you know, she's dressing a little too old for her age, because I think she's like 24, 25, or 26, right up in there, I want them to keep this in mind. For her, this is playing dress up. That was playing dress up last night. She was in a costume, if you will. They were playing homage, paying homage to the Great, which, you know, is all about Catherine the Great. I want to mention, I think it was a year and a half ago. No, I was about a year ago when I was on the carpet with her for season 2 of The Great, and she's just the cutest thing. She's quirky, just like Zendaya.
Yes.
It's these young girls, these young women, and they're so quirky, and they still keep that with them. They're not too like, oh, you know, I'm beyond that. I'm beyond. She's
I thought you got the accent there. You got the regal accent when you said it.
They're not there at all. They're like still fun-spirited and fun. And when I was interviewing her, she had on this corset, and she likes to play fun with the fashion. She had Catherine the Great's silhouette in the middle of the corset. It was by Versace, and she was like, did you notice anything? And I'm like, no, I'm trying to ask you questions. Like, no. She's like, take a look at my outfit. See, so for her, it's like this, like, fun way of playing with fashion,
Yes.
even if it's, you know, something that's not edgy as what you may have wanted her to wear.
Right, and they're actors, so they like to get into character. And we hear actors all the time. When you said corset, I think of many actors that I've interviewed when they say, you put in the corset, you tie it up, and you feel like you are that character.
Yeah.
And I love that. I didn't know that her dress was designed by the costume designer from The Great. So she really was paying homage to the show and to the character, and that's what she was there for, to celebrate. So I love it. And I also love how she and so many others, they play with fashion. So she doesn't have a one-note type of style. You know, last night she was regal. The next premiere, she might be wearing a sequin disco mini dress for all we know.
Or a pantsuit.
Exactly.
We've seen it before.
Exactly.
Now, lastly, our host with the most, Mr. Kenan Thompson. You know, I love saying Kenan Thompson's name because, you know, he's from Atlanta, y'all, and I'm from Atlanta. He showed off some smooth moves in his velvet tux. Take a look at him there. You looking good, Kenan. We're proud of you. Elizabeth, overall, what did you think about Kenan's hosting skills last night? This was the first time that he hosted the Emmys.
Yes, I loved it. So first of all, I love Kenan, and who doesn't? And when he said last night, I tweeted this, when he said last night, I've been in your living rooms for 30 years. I stopped in my track. That's my whole, I'm 32. That's my whole life. You're 32 too? This is why we're soul sisters. So we all, you know, we grew up with him from all that to Kenan and Kel to Good Burger. And by the way, I have to say, I was texting one of my friends, my coworker, who was sitting in the room.
Yeah.
And when he started and said 30 years, I texted her and I said, if he does not bring out Kel, I'm gonna be pissed. So then when he brought him out, that Good Burger reunion was one of the most viral moments of the night. But I really think there's so much goodwill for Kenan. He has been working for so long. He's the longest tenured cast member on Saturday Night Live of all time in the show's history of over 40 years. Also, shout out to SNL. They had a big win last night. But I really loved Kenan. I felt like he went for it, starting off with the dance number, and he had some good zingers, that Leo DiCaprio joke, but also was very celebratory to his peers and really showing that, you know, TV has gotten us through the pandemic. All you in this room worked so hard. I thought he had the right mix of roasting and also being sentimental.
Perfect. He got the stuffy out of the room, if there ever was any.
Right.
Because obviously award shows, as you mentioned at the top of the show, many people are tuning out. This appointment television is becoming less and less.
Right.
So this was a way for us to bring his audiences from all that, bring his audiences from SNL, bring his audiences from, remember, what was it, the Mighty Ducks? Remember the Mighty Ducks?
Mighty Ducks, yes.
He was in the Mighty Ducks.
We are such 90s kids right now.
Did I just show my age? Whatever. The point is that he's bringing audiences from everywhere, and Kenan, we are just so proud of you. You did a hell of a job last night.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, before we wrap up, you know I like to always ask,
Yes.
what was your favorite part of the night that you haven't mentioned just yet? The favorite part of the show?
Mentioned.
Besides Shirley Ralph.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say that was a standout. I can't say that. Okay, let me think. Let me think. You know what? Selma Blair.
Selma Blair.
Right?
Do tell.
I mean, that moment, I think everyone is so happy for her and so happy to see her dominating her life and, you know, being up there. I heard from people in the room, they said that the round of applause was one of the longest of the night. I also heard from in the room that Lizzo everybody was on their feet, just like going crazy over her. And at the commercial breaks, everyone wanted to take a selfie with her. And, you know, that was an unexpected win for Lizzo. A lot of people were saying she's in that race, but RuPaul, who had won the last 4 years, and by the way, already made history beating his own record last weekend at the Creative Arts. So it's one of those, again, an embarrassment of riches that someone wins, that means someone loses, but it's a high-class problem when you're that talented. But I really loved Lizzo. I thought her speech, again, we speak about how this means so much for people at home. I really think that is going to be a speech that is quoted for years to come and people see in memes and meant a lot. But I just love knowing that the celebrities in the room were like, I want a selfie with Lizzo during the commercial break. So those were some of my favorite moments.
And her fashion was out of this world.
Yes, it was.
Loved you, Lizzo. All right, well, that is all the time that we have on Post Pop this morning. And I have to say thank you so much to Variety's very own chief correspondent and co-host of Variety's The Take, Miss Elizabeth Wagmeister. Thank you for sharing your morning with us. I know that you just came from a show as well.
Yes, but thank you for having me. I'm so glad that we finally got to meet on live TV. This is what happens. This was so much fun. breaking down the Emmys and your enthusiasm. Like,
Thank
you can feel it.
I
You
can feel her
it.
enthusiasm. We will be back, I'm sure, again for our next Post Pop. We love Elizabeth here. And if you're looking for even more Emmys goodness and all the juiciness, E! Online is the place to find it all. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll pop in with you soon.